One of the things about these Shaptons is when you start polishing the razors, you want to talk about a mirrored edge. There's very few stones that'll compare with that. The Naniwas will. Okay, just following the same routine. 6K goes in, 4K comes out to sharpen. You know, the one thing we're going to do is when we switch so the other thing, I always clean off the stones before I start on any razor. Each razor that gets about 5 figure eights or so raises a light slurry. It also cleans the stone. One thing I haven't done, and God, these stones haven't had a grid lapping in 2 years. I don't grid lap hardly at all unless I see a problem with the stone. All I do is do exactly what you just saw me do. One thing about these Shaptons, they'll just about tell you exactly when the razor is done with each stone. I mean, it just sucks it right to the stone so fast. You can really tell that as you're doing it with the one hand, keeping it nice and even. One of the other things you might notice is when you're honing, especially with the one hand stroke like I am right now, see how level this is right here? That's the way you want it. You want it nice and level. You want to keep your elbow up. If you start honing like this to get that elbow down, it rocks the blade off the stone the wrong way. So you want it nice and level the entire time you're moving. What I'm doing is I'm looking for spots that I'm missing. It's really easy to see, for me, for you it's not. It's really easy to see the line that I'm putting into it. And as you switch stones, it becomes very obvious if you're missing a spot, because it's getting really shiny and really mirror-like. So if there's a spot that's not correct on there, it will show. I mean, you can see it, definitely. Both the Naniwa and the Shaptons are that way. They will tell you instantaneously if you're doing something wrong. Switching to the 6K, change tape, even though the tape's not really bad. You want to change tape as soon as I change tape during stages, or as soon as I think it's worn. Whether it's worn or not, I'll always change tape. There'll be at least 3 pieces of tape on the razor. Whether it needs it or not, it's going to get 3 different pieces. Basically, one for bevel set, one for the low grits, one for the medium grits, and one for the high grits. I always want new tape on there before I get into the finishing. Okay, new tape, new stone. You know what I mean about how level those are. See if I can manage not to break that. Those plates are expensive. They work really well, but they're really, I mean, it's a $300 plate there. It's something you don't need, but boy, they're nice. It's starting to get real smooth now. You'll also notice that the Shaptons keep cutting all the way through. A lot of stones, when you get up to the higher grits, after about 8K, you won't see a lot of swarf on there. You won't see a lot of black marks. Shapton's cut though. The other thing is they're dead white stones, so they're very easy to see. So it always looks like a Shapton's cutting more. It probably isn't. Who knows? I'm getting really super light with these strokes. Also on this second hand, there's no downward pressure. I'm just basically guiding from behind. One of the other things, if you notice, as I do this, I flip the wrong way. But you'll also notice I've been doing it for so many years that way. This is my normal way to hone. This is the way I learned to hone. When I started 30 years ago, I had no clue you were only supposed to use one hand like this. So I had to learn how to do this one. The other one, that's the way I honed. It's the way my barber showed me to do it. That's the way I did it. This way, you'll notice that flip the razor the right way over on the spine. And if you watch, I'm so anal retentive that I'll check that edge every single time. Every single time I change a stone, I'm going to check the edge. I'm always looking for a mistake. Not a bad thing. Okay. 8K. I don't actually count those. There were some black marks from the last time I was honing. What I'm doing is making sure those are going. But it's about 5 figure eights and you're usually done. This feels like glass now. Just like the way I dilute. I don't count drops. Dip the razor and you're off and running. I'm watching the water right in front of the edge also. Like I said though, on the Shaptons, it's pretty obvious. They'll suck the stone or the razor right to the stone when they're done. They kind of basically throw up this big huge flag that says, "Hey dummy, change stones." Which I'm going to do. I'm going to listen.